guys, it's Mafra with another Minecraft video. We are live here on skyblock.net. I'm here with MorayEel on his incredible island. I'm so looking forward to this. And Moray, thanks so much for joining us here. I've got to start off here with this incredible skin. Tell me a little bit about your skin and your in-game name.
Yeah, of course. Happy to be here with you. I like eels. I went eel fishing for the first time a couple years back, and I thought that they were really cool. And the moray eel just happens to be um, the most iconic eel, and it just so happened that the username also was not taken. And so I went with it, and I
Amazing.
made this skin. It's supposed to be kind of a derpy looking eel. Some say it's menacing, some say it's cute. I think it falls somewhere in between, but yeah, that's kind of
Menacingly
the
cute. I
skin.
could see that. I could see a little menace, a little cute. Nice combination. Um, so you've is fishing like a major hobby of yours, or just something that you did once and you decided to follow up? Or
It's something I've loved. I love deep sea fishing. I lived in the islands of Tahiti for a little
oh
while, and
wow,
so we fish things like eels and sharks, and I just really fell in love with, learning more about species of the ocean. And I have always loved the ocean, so I kind of wanted to build an island that was centered around that.
and are those edible, eatable? Can you eat them?
Yes, very chewy though. Very chewy.
Very very
Eels
chewy.
and sharks.
Eels and sharks
Yeah,
both.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
But
Well,
they're good. They're good.
awesome. Well, what would you like to show us here?
So this is the spawn of my island. I began playing on this server, just collecting items because I was mainly an eco player. And so this is a display of all of the items I've collected. So on Skyblock, there's kind of two categories of rare items, so to speak. There's the drop party items, which people get from drop parties like drop party heads. And then there's everything else. And here I have everything else.
Wow.
And I have a few heads here that I created myself, that I submitted to competitions and I won with. So I have those displayed here.
You did the
But
bee.
everything else is,
I,
yeah,
I
I
love
did.
the
I
bee.
created the bee.
That is so
Thank you.
awesome. Yeah, bees are, I think, personally, I think they're the cutest mob in Minecraft. I will fight people who say otherwise. Um, and the fact you've captured their cuteness in a little head is awesome.
Yeah, I had fun making it, and I was super stoked to win that slot in the head competition. But yeah, so this, without going into too much depth, this is basically everything. You can see I have one or two items that are missing that I have marked with red glass, but
Ah.
everything else is a rare, so to speak, on the server.
So
I
you're
have
so you're still looking for the
items
green flower
dating.
basket, is what I'm getting here. So if
Yeah, so
anybody
there
has a
were
green flower
only
basket, then you wanna buy it so you can finish the collection here.
exactly. There were only two or three on the server, so that'll be a bit of
Wow.
a struggle. But yeah, I have all of the hunt heads, um, the legacy heads, which is just a whole different version. But people can feel free to come here anytime and check it out. There's a lot to go through. But I have some of the oldest rares, dating back from 2018. So the original Create a Skyblock block that you'd get when you spawned in right when the server was made,
Oh wow.
all the way to the very first vote key, which people find kind of elusive, the yellow key, as it's
Oh.
typically called. So there are some cool, really old things. Recently, a tier 3 key was added to the game, but it was super limited and not many people got one. So I'm looking for that. But yeah, um, again, there's a lot to look at here. I wanted to put all of it on display so everybody can be like, okay, like this is all of it. So I'm pretty
Insane.
proud of this. As it's taken a long time, but it is essentially every variation of every rare that wasn't given in a drop party.
Wow.
So
Cool. How long have you
yeah,
been playing the server?
so I started playing Skyblock back in the early days in 2010. I played on Classic under a different account, which I no longer have access to, and I picked this server back up around 2020 is when I started playing again. So
Wow,
yeah,
incredible. Cool.
yeah, this is kind of my spawn, but it's not the main focal point of the island. before we go to the rest, I'd like to have you put this scuba helmet on that has respiration
Oh, excellent.
before we
Excellent. Thank you.
swim around.
Oh,
Yeah, of
nice.
course. So we'll swim out here, and the first thing you'll notice is that this rares display is in a big old treasure chest. If you look back, you
Oh,
can kind of
cool.
swim up and see that I made it in a big old treasure chest. So
Oh,
that's the spawn point.
oh, check this out. I just got to look at it. This is incredible. I love the blocks of just gold and diamonds and emeralds. Emeralds and diamonds especially are valuable on this server. So how cool is that? Really cool
Yeah, so
presentation.
more so for you know, for aesthetic purposes, because I thought it would be fun to have
Yeah,
that kind of be the rares display. But here you can
and an
see
iron lock.
this is, yeah, an iron lock. You can see that this is the ocean and the island is completely underwater.
Wow.
Um, I don't know how high your render distance is turned up, but you can see where we've got the ocean floor here, which is some textured sand. And then
Oh yeah.
as you kind of move forward, there's a bunch of stuff. So we can kind of start out, yeah, we can start over here. I've got a minefield,
Oh my goodness. Oh, check that out. This is cool. Oh, I have not seen anything like this before. This is,
an
I got
underwater
an
minefield
underwater
here.
minefield. I feel like I better not touch any of these because I'm going to go kablooey. Wow, these are really cool. I see what you've done here with
Yeah,
copper
so
and copper rod, lightning rod, I should say.
I drew inspiration from these from Finding Nemo when they're swimming around the mines.
Hmm.
Iconic. So yeah, there's that, just something fun. And then we come over here. I've got a sunken ship.
Oh, that's what
So
happens when
it's
you
modeled
run into a
after what
in a minefield here.
exactly? Exactly. So it's modeled after the Titanic. Um, just obviously not to scale, right? It's a lot smaller, but you can kind of come in on the inside, and I used copper to show it as kind of weathered down
Yeah, here we
and
are.
corroded, and you can see it's kind of in ruins
Totally.
because it's
This
been
is
sitting down
awesome.
here for so long.
Now, does this copper oxidize down here, or is this have you
So
sealed
it's
these with wax? Or?
I've sealed them with wax.
Okay, that's awesome.
Just because I like the variation
Yeah,
in the blocks. Some
you know,
of them I've some of them I haven't waxed just to kind of let them weather naturally and create a more randomized look.
and what is the spawner down
But
here?
I
Oh, a little squid spawner looks like.
a little squid spawner, yeah. This poor guy right here has kind of been struggling to spawn them. At least it is right now. But usually there are squids kind of hanging out in the old Titanic here.
Wow, this is beautiful, and I love the kind of just how it erodes down to nothing here. Is that that's really cool.
Yeah, if you look up the ruins of the Titanic, it kind of follows a similar thing where the
Right,
end
broken half.
just wears down. Along with that, if we want to swim forwards here, if you need a little oxygen, you can pick that up on those magma
That's
blocks. But we
cool.
have the infamous Ocean Gate submersible
Oh, oh man. Oh,
that imploded recently, and
yeah.
I had the Titanic, and I was like, got to include a miniature version of that. So there is
Oh
the
man.
Ocean Gate sub. We have a
Oh,
little some skeleton skulls here, a little tribute along with the Logitech controller on the wall there.
oh man.
For
Yeah, I
those
heard
that
about that. That's
that
crazy.
recollect that. Yeah. So yeah,
Incredible.
those are the ships, and then kind of continuing on the floor. If we want to come over here,
Yeah, I'm following you.
have a bit of a coral reef. So my
Oh,
vision for the island is to eventually have all of it kind of surrounded by a reef like this, to have some more elevated terrain, um, some sea turtles. The whole to start off with this is almost like a benchmark of what I hope this island turns into eventually a massive coral reef, um, with plants and animals and the whole thing. And we've got, you can look up here, you can see we've got some conduits suspended there that help us see and breathe a little bit better
I see.
underwater.
Oh, how cool. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of rapture of the deep down here. I got to admit, just it's mesmerizing. How cool is that?
So yeah, that's kind of the ocean floor. Um, and then we've got some more stuff as we swim up a little bit here, kind of enter the next layer. So this is actually where the island started as far as the construction went. I the island originally was the back of this sea turtle, and you'd spawn in and you'd sit on this turtle. And
Is
and
it
that was
turtles all
it.
the way
And people
down?
loved the turtle. It's just this turtle, yeah, right here. This is what it was. It
That's
was just
awesome.
this single turtle, and that's how it started. And I thought, you know what? It would be fun if I made an eel, right? Because I'm an eel. So then I made this eel, and then I was like, man, I love Forrest Gump. What's something ocean themed from Forrest Gump? Oh, Wilson, the volleyball. I don't know if you've seen the movie, but in you can kind of see me over here. You can kind of see Wilson right here. Tom
Oh,
Hanks,
here we are.
his iconic character, he is stranded on this island and
Yeah.
he has this volleyball. He goes insane. He puts his bloody hamper on the volleyball. And at the end of the film, he tragically loses his best friend, Wilson. So I like to imagine that after Tom Hanks lost his pet volleyball, it ended up here,
It ended up here.
um, underwater. Yeah, resting peacefully on a pillar.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love the bubble columns periodically. I mean, just fantastic.
Yeah, some of them push you up, others pull you down. That way it's a bit easier to navigate, and people can kind of come check out these creatures we've got. I'll show you these manta rays that I'm pretty proud of. If you go below them, you can see they've got little faces,
Just
kind of
like,
like in real life.
oh, I love it. That's
And
awesome.
yeah, and some gills. Um, how you go to those little aquariums as a kid, and they let you pet them or
oh yeah, I
whatever,
did
and
that.
they've got the face underneath. Yeah, so I wanted to make the mom,
Wait,
this
you're only
blue
allowed
one
to do that
here,
when
and
you're a
then
kid? Because
oh, I mean, you can do it as an adult as well. It's just, it just takes me back. Childhood
yeah,
nostalgia. That's what Minecraft's all about, anyways, right?
yeah. Oh, this is look at, oh, look here, look, check out your jellyfish over here. Dang, this
Uh
is.
huh. Yeah,
I'm not gonna get stung if I go
a
over here.
little
Oh,
little yellow jelly here.
yeah, this is
Yeah.
so fun. How long did it take to place the water? I need to ask that.
Oh man, I get sick to my stomach thinking about it because the thing is with Skyblock is there is a water event limit. So you can only update X amount of water blocks every minute or so. And
Oh,
so because this is a 199 by over 200 of water,
mm-hmm.
it took a long time. Let's just say while I was doing it, I managed to watch 9 seasons of a TV show. So it took me
Wow.
a few weeks. It took me a few weeks on and off. Had to start from the bottom
Yep.
and go layer by layer. And kelp helped a lot because kelp
Yeah.
creates water source blocks, but I couldn't just create a layer at the top and have it all fall down because then it wouldn't be water source blocks and
Right.
all of the fish and players would be sucked to the bottom.
Right.
So you wouldn't be able to kind of float like
I love
this.
the puffer fish here. This is great as well.
Thank you. Yeah. I based it off of the pixelated icon of the
Yeah, of
pix of
course.
the pufferfish item.
Yep.
It's kind of what I based that off of there. Then we have my favorite jellyfish, which is the Portuguese man-o-war. So these guys, They're like a blue balloon, and they typically come up and float at the surface, but they also go down. But they're supposed to have the deadliest sting
Ooh.
out of all of the jellyfish because they have these long, long tentacles that come out from the bottom. But um, I lived in Florida, and they would end up all over the beaches, and you'd see these little blue balloons everywhere. And I was always so confused as what they are. They were beached jellyfish.
Wow.
So I've turned this into a bit of a storage room. You can just swim in right there.
Yeah.
So here I've got a bit of a storage room in the works. Nothing too crazy. I'll probably soup it up in the future, make it a little bit more visually appealing, but just,
Well, I love
you
that
know,
floor
you
that
can
you got
never have
going
enough
here.
chests.
Oh, I
Or
agree. I agree. And with that attitude, I think we'll be talking in the not too distant future when I start my Hoarders Skyblock Edition series. So,
love it.
uh, I'm curious, like, how,
Every Minecraft base begins with chests. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. How many buckets of water do you think you placed? I don't know if that's in statistics or not, but it might be. I bet there's a bucket. I'm,
How many buckets of water I placed to fill this all in?
yeah, like
Oh wow.
if I hit escape and click statistics, I'm just going to go over here to items, and oh, there is a water bucket item. Like I've used the water bucket 976 times. That's how many times I've placed water on this server.
Let me see.
I'm
Okay,
super curious, dude, because I mean, I know how you don't have to place obviously every block. You place, like a row, and then it will just, fill
so
in.
I've only used it 3,200 times, but I have used a lot of kelp and bone
Ah,
meal. That was actually
that was the trick
because
then.
if you go to the edges of a square
Hmm.
and you put kelp on all the borders and have them grow,
I
it'll
see.
fill in the whole square. So you can go layer by layer,
Right,
if that
right.
makes
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sense.
I know
Yeah.
what you're talking about. That's very cool.
So I began with kelp all around the edges. Yeah, I imagine my statistics for kelp are pretty large.
Yeah.
I'll have
And
to
you only probably had to do two sides, right? Because if you do two sides, and they'll kind of meet up and create water
yeah,
source blocks.
the only problem is you would hit that water event limit.
Uh, I've never hit it. So, and then you
You
can't.
would hit it every 5 seconds just because of how much. So what would happen is it would hit the limit, and then there would be a 30-second delay before you could do any more water. So it was
I
a
see.
time intensive thing. But I placed 20,000 kelp
Whoa.
and
Wow.
a lot a lot of bone meal. Could have been worse. It could have been worse.
Yeah. I'm actually also noticed the glow lichen on the back of the turtle here. I didn't realize that you could have this underwater, but I guess you
Yeah,
can.
it's pretty cool. Sea turtles have that moss and kind of growth on their backs, and so I
Uh-huh.
thought that it would be fun to mimic that on this. Kind of show that he's an old soul. He's got some moss to show for his age.
Yeah. Now, if you were watching Nemo though, then he'd be like, dude,
Yeah,
uh,
he'd be like, dude, what are you doing?
dude, got to go catch the what was it the the current, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That tube, man. Maybe I need to make that tube, huh?
Oh, if you could figure out how to do that, that'd be awesome. Oh, check this out. I don't. I have not seen this
So
map art before. Um,
there's a story behind this one. So it was, let's just say there was an era, the Skyblock network, where things were bleak and looking kind of grim. We were going on year 5 or 6
Father
of
eel.
1.12.
Uh-huh. Oh
The
yeah.
community was in shambles, and thus emerged the persona of Father Eel. So I would go on the Discord every day and post these motivational quotes and like scripture almost, but I would always relate it back to Skyblock. And I grew kind of a cult following, and I had to make a map art, to kind of show for it. So that's where the Father Eel map art originated. I still think it's one of the best map arts on the server. I'm biased, but
I
yeah,
love it.
it has a fun story.
That's
Shout
good.
out to everyone that engaged with those Discord posts. That was a fun time. It's been a while.
And would you
So,
say the server is in a better place now?
oh yeah, 100%. I think it worked. I think the outcry from the masses definitely reached, um, you know,
The
our
powers that be?
beloved
Yeah.
crew. Yeah. So I think a beacon of light emerged out of our despair, and look at us now. We're in 1.19, right? So
Yeah. Thank you, Father Eel. I think we may owe you more than we'll ever know. uh, I also love the. I want to call out the glazed terracotta. I see there's different floor patterns in different. Now this is the second kind of area that has some, some air, some air in a floor pattern here.
yeah,
So
yeah. Eventually, I'd like to create a jellyfish kind of with every terracotta color, and then have some kind of room, or make like a lounging area, and let's say like a pink jellyfish, like the iconic one from SpongeBob. So
yeah,
I have a laundry list of ideas. There's just so much to do, um, which is why I've had such a fun time making this island. Just because I don't know of any other underwater islands on the server, and so I've got the opportunity to kind of do some first time things.
yeah. Agreed.
But
Yeah, this is amazing. But I actually found this island when I first kind of rejoined Skyblock, and myself, I took a pretty long break from it. I was here on 2019, and then took about 3 years off. And this is one of I won't say one of the first, but probably in the first, you know, 20 or so islands I visited. And I remember going, "What the?" And when I realized that, you'd made an entire island underwater. So ever since I decided to do the Island Showcase series, I was like, I got to see if Moray's on. And I didn't see it for quite a while, but I'm glad we connected and were able to do this.
yeah, I agree 100%. I think that's the fun thing about Skyblock is you leave and then you come back however long afterwards, and it's like you never left. You know what I mean? The community
Totally.
is great, and
Your
it's
build doesn't
always fun
disintegrate. So,
revisiting. Yeah, it's always fun revisiting your old builds,
and what
and
inspired
so
you to
that's
come back?
why.
So you took a break. What caused you to come back?
What caused me to come back? So I'm actually a home supervisor for a group home. So I manage a facility for at-risk youth, and from ages 12 to 16, a bunch of teenage boys, and they all adore Minecraft,
Of
right?
course.
And I realized, man, now's the opportunity for me to really show them what's up, and be like, hey, I'm not that old. I like what you like, and so it kind of motivated me to go all out on a build. I obviously still have a lot of room to cover, but they they were floored when I showed them all the animals. They're like, "Holy cow, you didn't do this in creative?" I mean, having
Right.
fly from Skyblock is definitely a plus if you're not in hardcore mode.
So
Shout
I've
out to the
heard.
hardcore mode players. But having to kind of gather the resources and then do it all by hand, they were like, "Oh my goodness!" They all loved it.
Right.
I will say they got a good crack out of this. I don't want to forget about this. If you go behind this turtle, you can there's a rear entry
A
here,
rear entry.
and
Okay.
this is
Oh,
kind of the
it's
original spawn point of the island,
and it's
or
it's
at least
it's
my
gut
original
colored. It's
storage
a gut.
area. It is. So we are in the turtle gut right now. We're in the
Right.
turtle gut, but they got a pretty good kick out of this. They thought it was pretty funny,
What's it been eating
and
here? It's got an anvil in here. Goodness. Um,
yeah, it's kind of like that that whale that swallowed Jonah. It's just
Right.
got all sorts of stuff in here. It's got grass blocks and resources and you name it. So
Well, that's awesome.
yeah, that's kind of what motivated me to get back in it. And I, will just always love Skyblock for all the great memories that I've made on it. So
Yeah, I love this because
yeah.
this really is the opposite of creative. Like creative, you've got everything at your fingertips. Skyblock, you have nothing. You have whatever's in the little starter chest and whatever you can, convince other people who have, grinded it out to share with you until you grind it out yourself. So,
Right. But the awesome thing about it is you have this like blank slate that you can really do
yeah,
anything with. You start with this really small island and you can go in whatever direction. And I wanted to do something that was unique and that hadn't been done before. And
well, you did it.
this is kind of what I fell on.
Yeah, you
And
definitely did it.
and it's been a blast. And I just love seeing people's reactions when they don't know anything about the island and they come and they're like, this is not what I was expecting.
Yes,
Being able to swim around and then basically granting other players the ability to fly,
right.
which it can be a bit upsetting, sometimes going to your favorite islands and not being able to fly around if you're a new player. I remember it kind of being that way when I'd want to explore these big castles and stuff other people had built. And so I wanted to create something where everybody can fly around and you're not really limited by what rank you have.
Right.
So,
And I like that you've got a few fish in here. It's not an obnoxious number, just a few fish floating around in here. Got looks like at least 4 conduits on the island.
yeah, so I mathed it out, and the 4 conduits are enough to cover, this entire area. If you go too far up, you start to suffocate a little bit because you get too close to the surface. Um, but if you go anywhere around here, anywhere around the animals, you have the conduit power.
Yeah.
And then the tropical fish, it's funny, there were hundreds of tropical fish, but they have opted for A, seclusion, or B, flying out of the water cube.
Oh yeah.
Swimming into the endless void because
Yes.
they even after being in this amazing ocean, they yearn for something more, which results in their unfortunate death.
And so they're like
So
do 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 do, and then
so as a parent would to their child, kind of putting up a guardrail in the crib, I someday will guard them by putting up a glass wall on all 4 sides, but that will be the investment of a lifetime. So
oh my
that will
goodness.
be that arguably might take me more time than filling all of this with water. So it's gonna take me a while to stomach that. But you can see here we've got a little school here. We've
Yeah.
got a few remaining veteran fish. You can see that they are
The
of all
smart
different
ones.
kinds. They're the chosen family, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of the island of misfit toys for fish down here.
Yeah.
But
That's awesome. That's great. Are these natural spawns or did you get buckets of?
they are migrated. They are migrated.
I see. So you
I will
found them.
say the unfortunate thing is the Y level of this island. I began building these animals before the 1.19 update was released, and tropical fish spawn at the Y level of 65, I believe, and lower. So we're a bit high up. So I had to
Oh.
do a mix of farming them on other islands. I had some other players donate them, but the goal is to recreate the Mariana Trench and create a trench that is deep enough that you can swim down into, that the fish will naturally spawn
Oh.
down there and then be carried upwards of bubble columns. So that's kind of the goal. And then, obviously want to populate it with things like dolphins to help you swim faster.
Oh,
And
that'd be cool. Oh, those are
so
great
I've got,
ideas.
yeah.
Lots of projects. Lots
So
of
I've
projects.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so it's a bit of an incomplete project, but I think it being somewhat incomplete makes it more exciting for me, just because I know I always have something to do on the server, and it keeps bringing me back because I think of something else. Oh, I want to do that, you know. And I'll be honest, this kind of showcase you're hosting has brought me back this week to add a few things and to work on it a bit. So
Oh,
it's been
good.
fun. I plan on continuing with it. So
Yeah, I don't think islands or builds are ever done. I think things are done when you are no longer creative, and I don't think we're ever done being creative. I hope not. But well,
yeah,
cool. Anything else you want to share with us? This is incredible.
yeah. I haven't been the most active in recent months just because of my occupation, and I just finished up with my bachelor's degree and
Oh,
have kind of put
congratulations.
things to the wayside. But shout out to just want to give a shout out to the Skyblock community and my close friends and everybody else that I've met on here that has made it so fun to come back uh, to where time really doesn't make a difference. And whenever I come on, I can count on somebody being here that I've you know known and grown to love. So I just appreciate everyone here, and I look forward to creating future memories and building and all of that good stuff. So thanks for having me on today, Mafro.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure. All my pleasure. So, thanks so much for those watching. If you'd like to help Moray recoup some some money in order to be able to build these glass walls and save these fishies, give this video a like. Everyone knows, I think probably by now, there's a pretty sizable prize pot that is going to be divided amongst the top 3 most liked videos. And if you'd like to see more videos like this or other types of stuff that we might have in the future, subscribe to this channel. And if you'd like to know when oh, wow, this is crazy at the very top, looking at here, just the ocean, the endless expanse. It's so cool.
Yeah, I get that. I would say bird's eye view, but
Yeah,
fish's eye view, I
fish's eye.
guess.
Yeah,
You have a lot of fish that have come up here,
yeah,
yearning for more. So I think more needs to be built up here to make them feel at home. We've got a puffer fish here.
yeah.
Yeah, there he
Oh,
is.
yeah, cool, man. Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for watching. He was scared. Now he got shrunk down again. How cute! I don't think I've seen that before. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I got too close. That's cool. Oh, I could play with this for a while. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye now.
Bye.